What is going on, guys? We are back with another video today, and we're doing another career resimulation on Madden 22, and today it is of a player that we all knew and loved, especially on Madden, even in real life. Like, it's who would like that Todd Gurley guy? But of course, we know that a few things led up to another, and his career kind of came to an end due to health issues, and obviously, if things were to continue the way they were, it seemed like he was potentially going to be a Hall of Famer. He was an insane dual-style guy, dual-threat guy, and obviously one of the best players in the league, especially at running back, when he was in his very short but, good prime. Obviously, torn ACL in college, and apparently that's what led to the arthritis in his knee, and arthritis is no joke, especially for a young athlete who's constantly changing directions and all that. It doesn't really work out too well. Of course, I would imagine he, had some of the top medical, treatments, which can slow the progression of it. Definitely can keep you around a little bit longer for, professional sports. But obviously, he was just never the same. Even in the Super Bowl, which I think is when the reports kind of came out that, he had arthritis. There were, he just didn't really play that well, and obviously he just kept declining from there, and, still gave it his all, still gave some quality years, and even the Falcons had some okay, they had, an okay time of it with him. Ultimately, his, what seemed like probable Hall of Fame career, came to an end, which of course is why we are here now. Let's take a look at how he is ranked based on the ratings we gave him. So, rarely protects the football. I'm not really sure how that's the case. I gave him covers for medium hits, I think, and I gave him like 87 carrying. Suffers from concentration drops. Okay. Fights for every inch as a runner. Fair enough. Avoids big hits following catches. I mean, avoids big hits, but doesn't avoid contact, right? Wants to take every catch to the house. I mean, I feel like that's like every player, right? Of course, we don't have any of these other things on the list, but juke move and spin move. So now I know, unless the game glitched out on me, because obviously the ratings sometimes do mess up, that the D and the C and all that, it isn't perfect. It definitely isn't perfect, because I'm pretty sure I gave him like 81 juke move. But regardless of the point, we're going to head to the draft. We're going to see who takes him, and let's see what happens if, everyone was perfect health and no one ever had to worry about anything. Ooh, the Rams seem to take a hit. I know there was probably some morale stuff because, typically you're going to be, higher up there in the morale boosts when you win the Super Bowl. But, of course, they dropped down to like an 82 overall. Not that it really matters because they have literally no chance of having Todd Gurley, at least from his rookie deal. But, of course, normally I would do a real-life class. I decided this time, why not? Just do an AI class. It really doesn't matter. We don't pay attention to the other players. That, and I kind of forgot to do it, but ultimately, let me know what you guys think. I don't think it really matters too much, but I guess it's kind of cool to see. And now we're kind of getting close to where Todd Gurley may be drafted. The Jets could kind of use a running back, so he may go right here on the nose. He doesn't. Nobody valuing these running backs. If he goes to a team that doesn't need him, I'm going to be pissed. The Ravens, maybe, fair enough. The Eagles, yeah, I guess. Let's see who takes them, though. The Chargers, maybe. The Saints, Anyone want them at all? No? I mean, I suppose a lot of teams do have good running backs. The Patriots would be an interesting place for him to go, and they do kind of need a running back. They say no. The Raiders don't need him at all. The This is Todd Gurley. There it is. To the Cardinals. That's what I like to see. Now, that is a fun one. That is good. Let's go take a look at how we made him look. For ratings-wise, I felt pretty good, kind of basing some of the things off of his actual rookie, card, if you will, from Madden. But once again, you got to remember, anything Madden, what was it, 19, 18, something like that, the ratings were a little higher than they are now, so you kind of have to factor that in as well. You can't just be like, oh, well, Todd Gurley, because back then, Todd Gurley, I think, had like 89 trucking, and EA doesn't give that to anyone out the gate, like literally anyone. They will not give that to anyone right now. But Cardinals, Todd Gurley, 77 overall. He was 79 or an 80 at the time, which once again kind of fits that mold. The neck fat looks a little weird. I might have to change his look. I don't really like the way he looks at all. I couldn't really see what he looked like because obviously he was in a helmet, but 6'1", 223, 21 years old, hidden development trait, obviously. 91 speed, 90 XL, 88 agility. It's a little bit faster than he actually was in the game. 85 trucking, 82 stiff arm, 81 juke move, 75 spin, 88 carrying, 77 ball carrier vision, 88 change direction, 83 strength, with some good catching ratings. Injury and toughness is a little lower, but doesn't really matter in this scenario. Stamina 93. Probably should have changed his blocking, but who gives a damn, to be honest. But for his development trade, I kind of debated on what I wanted because he was pretty good out the gate. I decided to go superstar. I feel like that's the way EA would rank most of the running backs coming out of the draft, like 9 times out of 10, probably 99 times out of 100 if they're really good, but not the greatest of all time. But it's nice to see a great team out the gate. Well, I can't even say great team because the Cardinals don't usually win it all in Sims, so maybe not, but Todd Gurley will obviously play a huge factor in them having a chance to win it all. Kyler Murray, we're going to forget about the real life kind of, quarrels, if you will. Oh my lord. I get it, the Packers and cap hell as well, but look at some of the ratings just purely dropping out here. I mean, this is some bad stuff. Let's take a look at the Cardinals, see what their team's looking like. So 80 overall, you still got Hopkins, you still have Murray, obviously, and now you have Todd Gurley. Of course, Chandler Jones is getting older, but it's still a pretty good team. 2 mil negative. All right, I mean, with the way the cap works in this game, it's really surprising that you see... Hell no, do you draft him in the first round? He's starting. But it's really surprising that you even see salary issues in the game, because once again, it just seems like you have unlimited money in this game. Randy Gregory, anyone new? It was just like Randy Gregory. I don't know if Averett... I thought he was an Eagle. I don't know, maybe he's a free agent. They signed him or something, but... Yeah, not the best looking team. I was thinking, okay, automatic contender, I suppose, but... Definitely not for long. J.J. Watt and Chandler Jones leaving with their ratings right now may actually be a bonus for this team because they're obviously carrying some pretty heavy cap numbers, and obviously they're regressing hard. But Todd Gurley out the gate, we'll see what my man's is like. All right, year one. From a losing... Now, here's the thing. If you're a player that is just in it for the money, which, I mean, hey... I'm not saying I'd only be in it for the money, but that would be the primary goal until I get out of my rookie contract. I mean, I'd like to have some fun, but I have to understand that, if I get out of that rookie contract and I'm looking good, I'm making bank. I'm set for life. So this situation probably isn't the worst, right? If you're a team that sucks, you're probably not going to run it as much because you're always chasing the game, but... Also, if you're a team that sucks, you might not be able to get as much protection. You might just get blown up more often. So I don't know the freaking math on it. What the ratio of selfishness to how good you can. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's completely irrelevant. Todd Gurley, though, did not have a good year here. This was atrocious. Do I have the arthritis slider all the way up or something? I'm sorry, okay, Todd. You still got paid, I think, right? I imagine. But, of course, you compare this to his rookie year, it's not even close. This is awful, awful stuff. The receiving numbers were better, kind of. No, they were better. No, they were worse because the yards per catch weren't as good. He just had more catches, so they used him more in the receiving game here, which is, I wouldn't say it's a sign that they're not getting their value out of him, but it's somewhat of a sign, right? Like if you're a true beast running back, you're probably not going to get as many carries as he did here, and I guess, they kind of de-used their, James Conner, which was a weird thing. They actually threw the ball to James Conner quite a bit in real life, but yeah, Todd Gurley here, just awful. I mean, I guess... We'll take a look if he won Rookie of the Year, but he just didn't. Like, let's just be honest. I don't remember looking at the touchdowns, but even those looked pretty low, if I remember right. And he was number 4, which, I mean, the game is really biased. It's super biased. They try to give the user the freaking award as much as they can. They're like, sorry, dude. He just wasn't good, man. But speaking of good or wasn't good, a couple of bad things lately. Maybe the subs, the likes, not as high as normal. It may make me sad. Maybe if you want to leave a like and subscribe, it would be nice. It would help out the channel. Obviously, if you're just like, well, this is way too early, I don't know if I like this kind of stuff. But if you think you like crew resimulations, Madden franchise where we play as the team, try to win the Super Bowl, we have one for online, which is the Dolphins, we have one for offline, which is the Raiders. You like rebuilds, you like different random experiments of, who damn knows, blast in the past, some of the best players of all time, using them in the game, seeing if we could just absolutely bend over the AI, maybe leave a like and subscribe. Also, the other thing that's been really bad is my stream schedule, but I'm going to be live tonight around 10 p.m. Central Standard Time on twitch.tv/Jeromepkr. I don't know if it's actually going to be the championship round of our Raiders franchise. I'm debating still if I want to record that on my own to have better audio quality. And some of the commentary is a little distracted. I know it was the Super Bowl when we recorded the divisional round, but it still is a little distracted. I don't know. We'll decide later on probably, but if not, maybe KO, maybe some Apex, the stream things, all right? But yeah, Chiefs only win by 1 over Washington. Completely irrelevant, though, to us is, once again, this is the Todd Gurley show, not the Kansas City Chiefs show, which it usually is when we do these sims, ironically enough, but not here, hopefully, today. All right, draft recap. A couple of high overalls here, actually. Oh, yeah, we'll pick 2 overall. Normal, though. Still starting caliber, though. Then they go with a left tackle. Brett Dillard, hidden development trade. Once again, it doesn't really matter whether they're star or superstar to us, so I'm not going to really look at anything. Ryan Mason, I think they already have, unless they lost Hudson, I think they already have a center. I know you're kind of drafted for the future there. Manny Billups, they got some speed. The Cardinals love to draft a fast wide receiver and then never use him. That's probably the newest on the list. So the team's got a slightly newer look. There's a couple of offensive linemen that are looking pretty good and young, but Hudson gone. I mean, those linemen were clutch because this offensive line goes to bottom 2, maybe bottom 3 of the league, but at least there's some potential. Maybe one of these guys is even superstar. I don't know, but looking at the defensive side of things, Stratton, of course, is normal development trade, but automatic starter, good. Chandler Jones is gone, so they definitely needed this guy. Maybe it would have been nicer if he was hidden. And then Simmons goes to superstar, which I suppose helps him a ton. But, yeah, I mean, there's still potential on the team. But it could be one of those cases where, like I said, with guys like Chandler Jones and J.J. Watt leaving at the worst time, his team's getting better, but then they're losing pieces constantly, similar to Hopkins kind of getting older. This is kind of like a 3 to 4 year window. If I'm Todd Gurley, if I'm at least playing okay enough, I'm leaving, going to a true contender. I mean, once again, not a bad draft, but still, I just don't know if this team is ever going to be Super Bowl ready with Todd Gurley at running back. And he's not even helping the team either. It seems like he needs to be carried more than anyone. And 4-13 again. I don't know if maybe that's the reason why the Cardinals suck in sim is their playbooks just suck. Oh my. That is some losses. Might change the playbook up a little bit, maybe something similar to their build, maybe the Seahawks or something, I guess. But let's take a look at the stats, see if we had any improvements. Quarterbacking didn't look any better. Todd Gurley looked better, so he'll keep superstar. Once again, if you are new to this series, we do drop the dev, and if we need to, raise the dev manually, because I don't want to change the regression sliders because the game is a little 50-50 on those. Sometimes you get dev ups or dev downs that just don't, work with the game's, realism. It just doesn't make any sense. Some of the guys that go down or up in dev based on the seasons they've had. So we'll do that manually. Would I say he's a superstar? Not really, but 4.4 yards per carry is very good, especially coming off of a bad rookie year. Can't blame a rookie for playing bad, especially on a team that just played bad in general. As the Colts win the Super Bowl over the Panthers, like to see new names, kind of like I don't know, the Rams over the Bengals. The Rams aren't the newest name because, once again, they made a Super Bowl recently enough, but as far as winning it, I guess. But, yeah, I mean, I think next season, if he's rookie year status, he probably drops a star. But if he's even, 4 yards per carry, he probably keeps superstar. It's got to be something significantly bad or good to change it, in my opinion. All right, another draft. Pick number 3 overall. They went wide receiver, Damian Russell. Lots of potential, but normal dev, a lot to work on for sure. Then a 73 overall guard, I was about to say, probably hidden, as 73, ish overall looks good. 3rd round, pick 3, though. They go with this guy. Lots of potential, actually, but I don't know about that. Wheatley, Terrible decision. Cornerback, it's one thing to bust on a pick. Hey, what up? But it's another to just not choose the right position at all. I get it, best available player and whatnot, but you didn't do that or do the right position. So, well, what's your argument there? My man's here has 58 run block, which for a wide receiver is very high. I don't know if they intend to play him a wide receiver. I can always adjust it for him. I know it's not a rebuild, but when you look at the talent they have at wide receiver, Kirk, I don't know if they're looking to re-sign him. I mean, it seems like they've got their guys, even these backups, for some time. So I'm not really sure what they're getting out of Russell. So I'm going to put him at tight end. I just don't understand why they would have drafted him. So the team, 85 overall, Todd Gurley. Offensive line's got 3-star development trade players. Well, maybe this guy's superstar, but the other 2 didn't turn out to be that way. Russell, the tight end, has a chance to be great. Defensively, there's a couple of needs, but, I mean, they're somewhat improving. Like, Stratton went up to star development trade, and Gregory to superstar. Watt, probably doesn't matter that he's an X-Factor again, but there's some names, right? The safeties look good. Cornerback number 1 looks good. The linebackers look good. It also depends on who they decide to keep as well. We don't know, but we also moved to the Green Bay scheme as I feel like the numbers are fair. Actually, we're going to go to Seattle, like I said. Screw it. Playoffs, let's see it. Change the scheme, change anything, and not really, to be honest. Oh, Lord. Let's take a look at the numbers, though. Kyler Murray was worse than before. Gurley was worse, but at least he's over 1,000. He's got double-digit touchdowns. I'll keep him at superstar, I suppose, but man, I don't know what scheme that this team should be running because it's not 32nd in offense ranked, right? I mean, the defense and offense are kind of similarly ranked in overall, yet obviously you can see that there was a bit of a difference in performances, but maybe it won't matter for us soon because I think Todd Gurley is off of his rookie deal after this season, and if I'm him, I'm out of there. I'm sorry. I mean, well, actually, maybe I'm not because I want a ton of money, and I'm like, hey, this team has clearly a roster problem considering they can't even make the playoffs. I'm going to just drain them dry, of course. All right, another draft. Assuming my math is correct, we should still have Todd Gurley here in Arizona, but Dudley, Kyle, normal development trade, very fast, though. I get why they drafted him. DT, Pat Duckworth, hidden development trade. We'll see how good he is at some point. Another hidden development trade, left tackle. I don't know if Humphreys is around. Troy Williams, any decently 84 power move, I suppose. Wide receiver George Bradley, another wide receiver. This team loves their wide receivers. Left end, definitely a need. Good scheme fit and all. Not a bad player. It's just 23 out the gate. And then a huge right guard. Once again, a couple of good picks, 3 to 4 good picks. I mean, they're trying to prove me wrong. I don't think they're going to do it, but they're trying. All right, contract year Gurley here, 89 overall. Wide receiver, okay. Maybe Russell should go back to wide receiver number 2. I still think he's OP as hell at tight end number 1. Where the hell is Nails? Nails is supposed to be the starting guard, whatever. Brown turned out to be star. Shocker. Defense, I mean, yeah. I mean, it's got potential. Once again, it kind of sucks that they got rid of Hopkins and Rondale Moore, but sure. I mean, I'm not, that's not my job. My job is just to, whatever players they got, make them fit, right? That's really the goal, is just to make it fit. Want to start as many of the good players as you can at all times, and that's what we've been doing. Playoffs, change the scheme again. Didn't matter. What did I actually change the team scheme to? I don't want to look at it. I just want to remember it. Oh yeah, the Steelers. I went with the Steelers. Yeah, kind of similar to Najee Harris. Not a bad start to the season, and then just sold. I don't know what it is. The Cardinals just need. I want to run the Chiefs playbook once, but I don't know, dude. I just don't know. Let's take a look at the stats, though. Kyler Murray, doesn't matter what scheme we're playing. Maybe we go Philly next. Philly actually makes a lot of sense. Todd Gurley, though, good season. No dev drop. Okay, so he's finally at least, kind of carrying the team like we wanted him to. What were the receiving numbers, actually? Kind of looked off. Yeah, not really getting a whole lot going there. Philadelphia may be the next move because, kind of similar builds with players, especially since we just lost half of our receiving group anyways. So, yeah, I mean, we're going to try Philadelphia next, assuming there is a next. Once again, Todd Gurley on a contract year. We'll see. Jags, Cowboys, I mean, I would imagine Yeah, obviously 34-10 Jags over the Cowboys. Obviously, why else would I think otherwise? I had to look again because the 108 mil or something. I'm like, are you sure you're signing players? What's happening here? But I mean, it's not my job, so we'll just see what happens, I guess. And apparently 108 mil in salary. Is it glitched out? What's happening? Why do they? What's happening here? Actually, turn the salary cap off or something because they still have Kyler. Obviously, they still have Gurley. Defensively, they kept Watt. That couldn't have been super cheap. I don't know if this guy was automatically star or not, but or superstar. He must have been. Okay, that was a really good draft pick then. The cornerback did not go up. They got Ojemudia, so I mean, I guess, but I don't understand why they're not spending money. What are they going to have, 100 mil? I have honestly no idea what they're doing. Unless they got to pay people next season, they're holding off. I'm not sure if EA even has that in them. A lot of the really good players get let go at a free agency, guys like Lamar and whatnot. So I can't imagine that's just in the game. I feel like it's just a coincidence that we're just loaded on money, didn't want to spend anything in free agency, which I just don't get it. I mean, I'm definitely working on the D-line. I'm getting a right outside linebacker if I'm them. I'm getting a franchise tackle if there's one there, and moving on. But I guess they want to save money. Right end, pick number 3 was a hidden development trait one. 270, I mean, kind of on the cusp, but they go with a new quarterback, Tim Wentz. Very similar to Kyler Murray, ironically enough. They go with an outside linebacker, Villa. Could be the starting right out. We'll put him at right out just for now, just in case. And then there was another guy in there. I don't know. I don't really even think it matters. Because, once again, these guys are really low overall. And most of them are going to be normal. And, yeah, I just don't... I don't know. I mean, I guess. But why aren't you spending money in free agency? 60 mil? A second-round quarterback. What is Kyler's contract? They surely had to pay him already. Glad you went quarterback in the second round, high second round, when Kyler Murray's on a long-term deal. Well, maybe not long-term, but 2 more years remaining. I mean, I guess in real life it makes sense, but still, Todd Gurley signed a super massive deal. Why didn't they sign someone? Surely there was somebody, right? Like, there had to be a wide receiver or an outside linebacker, something they could have done. Here's the squad looking worse and worse outside of the offensive line, ironically enough, but the receivers, just spend some of that 60 mil you got, I don't know, maybe it seems like a good idea. Right outside linebacker, same thing. Left end, I get wanting to keep JJ, I guess, but I don't know, dude. It seems like it has such a potential. I mean, the team's still good. 87 overall is great, but they have a potential to be even better. And they're just not using their money. 5-12 as an 87 overall team. I don't know what to tell you. I don't understand. But number 1 in yards. Was that number 1 in yards? 19. Okay, I was about to say, that does not look like number 1. Touchdowns are low. Interceptions are somewhat low. Todd Gurley was good enough again. Do we just run the Chiefs playbook, see what happens? I just don't understand how this team is playing this poorly right now. I mean, they've had some sick drafts. Once again, we've talked about it a billion times. They're not using free agency money, money on free agents. But still, it's just even with the roster we have, we should probably be good enough to at least come close. 9 wins, maybe? What overall are we? We're an 87 overall. We obviously don't have morale boosts. We'll actually wait till the Super Bowl's over so the morale's gone and all that. The Patriots versus the Rams rematch. The Rams get their revenge. I mean, this doesn't really matter too much, but if the team's at least a good overall, we can at least give them one of the better scheme fits for Sim. And you can see here that, it's on par with some of the best in the league, tied up with the best in the league. Top 2, top 3 roster just based on overall, and once again, Kyler Murray's a high overall, so I guess we'll rock Tampa maybe. Once again, the Chiefs I feel like are just too OP. We're going to try to be as realistic as possible, okay? We're going to screw that. We're going to go with maybe Carolina. Got a running back that's, maybe not as elusive as McCaffrey, though. Let's go Dallas. Screw it. Dallas it is. Draft recap. Ooh. This guy's more of an outside linebacker, though. Does this guy go to right out? I mean, we'll check his dev while we're here, but I mean, he's kind of on the smaller side, but he is extremely fast. Seems like he's a right outside linebacker. Okay, maybe this team is headed in the right direction. They go Luke Forbes. Let's take a look at how good he is. I'd imagine star dev. I mean, that is nuts. Grabbing an X Factor outside linebacker. That guy's going to be there for a while. Watch now. I bet you what's going to... Oh, well, this is kind of dumb, actually. Why the hell did they go running back? But the team's actually going to make a turnaround, and Todd's going to freaking leave. Watch. He's going to stick it out during the rough times, and then right when they get good, he's gonna be like, yeah, I want free agency. Screw it, money. All right, Forbes at the number 2 spot. They're making progressions. Once again, they didn't really spend all that much money in free agency, but I mean, we can't once again control that. Duckworth has been great though. It's a sick looking team. Ooh, Jalen Thompson might be a little late, but gets to superstar, which I mean maybe helps him last a little bit longer in the league. But if this isn't a playoff team, I mean, this is why I get super frustrated in rebuilds sometimes, because this isn't a rebuild, but they've drafted really well, and yet they can't make the playoffs. I mean, you just have to run the Chiefs playbook. Is that the only way around it? I just don't understand. They were 2-5, so I switched out to the Chiefs playbook, and it seems like a bit of a turnaround. Was it 7-4? Math. God damn, dude. It wasn't that I didn't know the math. I just kind of forgot what our record was. I remember hearing it's 8-9 for myself, and I was like, wait, what? But looking at Kyler Murray, numbers are meh. You know, Todd Gurley, really good numbers. Still superstar, I imagine. Forbes was really good, actually. Todd Gurley got a little more involved in the receiving game. Weaver, oh my God, those numbers are awful. Anything decent? The outside players, just not good. Interceptions were actually pretty good. Kicking was awful. Once again, I don't think Todd Gurley would have won any awards, but you know, this would have been one of the closer ones, I suppose, if he had a chance at it, which, once again, 6th. He's a very high overall, but, you know, I mean, he's still coasting. I will say it's a little more impressive now that he's doing pretty damn well, despite the fact that the team is just awful somehow. But, yeah, pretty lackluster stuff as far as postseason. Just, I mean, there is no postseason, so, I mean, it's been a bit of a disaster. But once again, if this team can't make the playoffs, how do you actually make the playoffs? Once again, they're also not spending free agency money yet again, but the drafts have been good enough to kind of counteract that. I have it on auto. I can't just go in, and then it kind of becomes a rebuild. I don't really want to do that. I mean, I do want to do that, actually, but then it kind of defeats the purpose, so I'm not going to. But maybe one of these years, normally, the team spend, they usually save about 20 or so mil, but this team has been saving like 50 or 60 a year, which is, I don't know who they think they have to re-sign. Maybe now or very soon, but not like several seasons ago. I mean, they let Rondale go, 48 mil. I mean, it's once again getting better, I suppose, but they're still saving so much money. All right, pick 14 overall, and they go with another defensive lineman. I mean, I feel like the D-line is almost set now, no? And then a DT who's 24. I mean, there's really not much of a reason to look at the rest of this class. This class sucks. This guy looks all right, actually. Yep, hidden development trade. Very fast. Could tell he was very fast. That's a good pick, but everything else was just terrible. I mean, just awful. Playoffs, and we're in. I was looking at the standings because I always look at, okay, how bad were we when we missed? But 10-7, it only took us having the Chiefs playbook on the entire time. You know, it's just the way it is around here. I mean, look, you actually have to run the Chiefs playbook when the team sucks. I don't understand why that's the case, but Todd Gurley, obviously very good. Oh, Damian Russell is actually star. Maybe deserves superstar. I don't know how good he was the previous year, but good enough to go to star, I suppose. Some good edge rushing, I suppose. The DT, Duckworth, has been great. MVP, not even. Number 8, that's pretty low. Number 1 for quarterback, number 1 for wide receiver, and that was it. But at least a playoff berth. Will they actually do anything with it, though? I mean, that's a completely different story. The fact that we're even here is a surprise at this rate. We haven't made the playoffs in over half a decade, but they get their first win against the division rivals, even sweeter. Going against the Eagles now, another win. Going against the Falcons, another win. It's crazy what the Chiefs playbook can do for you. I don't know how we want to approach this in the future. You guys seen, I mean, I gave it my all. I changed a bunch of different playbooks and all that, and it finally worked with the Chiefs. Who would have thought? Forbes is an X Factor. He went from star to X Factor in a very short amount of time. Let's take a look at the tight end to see if it's fair to upgrade him in dev. Once again, I already made a video I talk about all the time. Star to superstar is not doable. He has been very good. I think after a season like that, he probably deserves superstar. So I'm going to give it to him. It is what it is. It's one position. But yeah, you guys know star to superstar for tight ends doesn't exist unless it's an actual breakout or you draft. Well, I guess it's not really going up then. It's you draft him that way. But yeah, that's let's go into the game because you never know how many games or how many times they'll be in the Super Bowl, if ever again. So here it is against the Ravens. Kind of a similarly built team as well, ironically enough. Let's see what happens. See if Todd Gurley can win his first of maybe many Super Bowl rings. And with that Cowboys rebuild recently enough, you guys know that for whatever reason, EA thinks, or the NFL thinks that Madden is real, and I won't be able to show the ceremony no matter what, whoever wins it. But it doesn't look good for the Cardinals here. That's all I can tell you. Well, they had a chance and they squandered it. Definitely a good performance in the end. I mean, it worked out in the end. Gurley was awful in the ground game. Anything in the receiving game? Just awful. The offense was just terrible. Simply put, the defense must have been the reason why they even had a chance. I haven't really seen any numbers here, but just seemed like a really bad performance in general. I mean, the whole team sucked. Draft recap. A running back. Hey, this team's really starting to embrace the EA sim. That's what this team needs, a running back, of course. Why would you go anything else in the first round? Makes a lot of sense. Just when I thought this was like, the one AI team I really believed in. It's not. They're dumb. All right, Todd Gurley. He's 28 years old. He's 98 overall. He's got, what is it, tank and nothing. You got bulldozer in here. I guess jukebox is kind of cool. Ratings, 92 speed, 92 excel. They didn't upgrade his elusiveness at all. Oh my god. I really got to start upgrading it, I guess. Doesn't the AI know you fall forward no matter what in this game? You just need elusiveness. Playoffs, 12-5, got the bye week. I don't know how I feel about keeping the Chiefs scheme on, but once again, it's just, what else do we do? The team's great, and it just plays badly. I don't know. If the team starts sucking, we'll change it, I guess, but Todd Gurley should potentially go up to X Factor after a season like that. Stratton, of course, both of the edge rushers are now X Factors, which is insane. This could be another Super Bowl run, maybe an actual Super Bowl win this time, though. And honestly, because of the whole, copyright claim from NFL, couple now that I've had because of showing the Super Bowl and all that, I'm probably just going to sim the game in general. There's really no point in me going in to watch if we can't even watch the celebration anyways. Going to have to wait a couple of weeks before the Super Bowl. Once it dies down, then they're like, okay, we don't really need to claim that anymore, but the Patriots versus the Cardinals, back-to-back trips, and a win this time. All right, so Todd Gurley is a Super Bowl champion. 27-7, of course, like I said, it's a very good team, so oof, really not a great performance. I don't really feel bad about, the playbook surely didn't help in the Super Bowl, I'll tell you that. God damn, that was an awful freaking performance. But yeah, a lot of picks. Jesus. 6 interceptions between the two quarterbacks. Just, absolute elite talent, obviously. So the draft, they go middle linebacker, looks really good. Did they just draft themselves another Isaiah Simmons? They're like, you know what? Isaiah Simmons is getting really old. Let's just grab another one. It's really not that hard. Let's just grab another one. And they did. They grabbed a really good guard as well, a couple of random players. But, okay, fair enough. That is... I wish it was that easy. Kyler's starting to regress. He's a 93 overall. He's 33, which is a little surprising that he's actually taking a hit in overall. And then defensively, Duckworth's absolutely insane. Kyle is 27, but he's an okay overall. Gordon's probably a 30-year-old or something, 29. There's definitely some regressions, but the team is still pretty good in all the right places. So, fair enough. Moats, I guess, will wait a year. 10-7 again. I guess Kyler Murray was on the top list for yards and touchdowns and whatnot. Todd Gurley, pretty good stuff. Trent Allison, some pretty good players there. The tight end has been going off, by the way. He's an X Factor now, of course. 3 straight seasons of 1,000-plus yards. Pass rush was actually really bad, considering we've got 3 in their prime X Factors on defense. Kyler Murray may have even won MVP, and he did. Todd Gurley, he's good, but he's not that great. Number 4 might even be his highest rank yet. It wouldn't surprise me. Chance at back-to-back, though. Let's see if they can do it. It wouldn't surprise me. They're a pretty good squad, like we said. 3 straight Super Bowl attempts, potentially. They'd lost right away. But it's 3 straight trips to the Super Bowl, potentially, but not this time. Still a Super Bowl champion, though. Some guys don't even get that. So, Colts versus the Cowboys. The Cowboys have had a couple of trips now, and they win. May have been multiple now, honestly. And the overall is a 90-plus still. The team is very good. It's one of the best teams we've seen from a career resim. Also, a little surprising that Gurley hasn't gotten a dev up yet. He's 30 now. Once again, running backs don't last as long as quarterbacks. So this is going to be coming to an end pretty soon, I'd say. I'm surprised he didn't regress a little bit harder than that, to be honest. But obviously, the train continues to roll. Pick 21, they go with another quarterback. So the first one obviously was way too premature. This one, still probably too early, but at least it's a little bit closer. This guy is slow. That is a slow player for his weight. Michael Streets, don't really need the wide receiver. But then again, I don't know. This team loves to just, hey, hidden development linemen, but they love to not spend money on new players and half the time let their own players go as well. They're afraid of spending money. I have a feeling the owner is siphoning cash. Squad doesn't change a whole lot, but once again, we're seeing some regressions, and the team isn't really holding up super well, but they still have some pieces. They need new safeties, need new corner, left end wouldn't hurt, and need a new middle linebacker number 2. Left tackle wouldn't hurt, and wide receivers are fine. They're actually looking pretty good. I would imagine this Forbes guy's like 26, 27. Yeah, they still got plenty of time. This team, if they can just re-sign everyone, should be intact until Gurley retires. And even with the freaking Chiefs playbooks on, playbook, we still missed the playoffs. Gurley was worse than before, but still good enough. Obviously, Allison's killing it. Forbes is kind of a down year. Gurley was good. It's really all we need to see. Once again, Gurley is just not going to win awards with those type of numbers. They're not bad, obviously, but they're just not like top 3. Draft was, just porous. Maybe this guy's decent, but everything else was so bad. They're back on top. 14-3 is not a bye week, apparently. Todd Gurley in the top 3, though, like we were talking about. Not good enough for the top 3. Apparently he is now. Really, 14-3 isn't a bye week. That is crazy. A couple of top 3s, actually. Murray was decent. Gurley was pretty good. Forbes was top 3 as well, just like Gurley. Defensively, 20.5. This Duckworth guy has been quite the player for this team. Very, very good player. Jesus. But yeah, let's actually take a look, and maybe he had, Gurley maybe won best running back or something like that. Maybe he actually had a chance. Duckworth, like we said. Gurley, number 2. Damn. Close enough, though. Very close. Well, maybe not close enough, but got close. Finally, something positive in the awards category. Going against the Vikings, they won. Going against the Packers now, and they also win. Going up against the Rams again, and they beat them. Chance to win 2 rings. Todd Gurley going against the Raiders. The winner is the Cardinals. So the Cardinals have 2 Super Bowl wins, 3 trips. Of course, once again, it probably helps that we got the Chiefs playbook on. Maybe just going to turn it off for next season. Like I said, though, their numbers, they're not helping. But it's just like, I think with the Chiefs, they also, not only is the scheme built well for Sim, but it also kind of is like they expect the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl a lot or go to the Super Bowl a lot in real life. So it's like they kind of just predetermine that anyone running the Chiefs are kind of the Chiefs. So they grabbed a hidden safety, and then, obviously any of these guys could be great, but it looked pretty bad. Seeing some mad regressions for the team, but of course a Super Bowl win again makes it all worthwhile. Todd Gurley, who's 32 years old, he is obviously very good, but he is regressing. Obviously, he was like 99 trucking, 99 stiff arm. He's no longer that. The receiver, this is a very sick roster, and I have the sliders on pretty low. They're like 110s. 115 some places, but you can see here they are very low because, we got some guys that, Martin only just now got to 99 overall, and he's 27, and, he was an X factor out the gate. So, yeah, I mean, just a really good team. This is probably, like I said, the best team we've seen draft-wise in any of these career resimulations or simulations. And 12-5. Let's take a quick look at the statisticals. Number 1 for Todd Gurley. What is that? Is that attempts or is it yards? What is it? Either way, he's absolutely insane. Let's take a look if he won Best Running Back this time. Might have finally got himself a Best Running Back award. Offensive Player of the Year. Best Running Back? No, number 2 again. Todd Gurley's being scammed. Regardless, though, another playoff run. Let's see if we can beat the Packers. We can. Going against the Rams, we can win again. Going against the Giants, can we win? We do. Going against the Jets in the Super Bowl. Okay, if you say so. Let's see it. Jets versus Cardinals. 3 Super Bowl wins for Todd Gurley. Oh my. Is Todd Gurley basically like one of the best running backs of all time? I don't know what his stats are, but like he's got to be getting up there for a career as well. Gurley, anywhere? Not on the list yet. Touchdowns, maybe? Nope. Okay, I guess I'm just wrong. Relax. Stop yelling at me. Rushing, though, 14,000 yards, 4.6 yards per carry, 158 touchdowns. 0 fumbles. Really? 0? Almost 2,000 yards after contact. Longest run was a max run, 204 games with almost 600 broken tackles. Receiving, though, 4,300. So he's at like 18,000 yards so far. Which, I mean, in real life was probably on par for that without the injury and then the arthritis. But, yeah, I'm going to change the scheme up again just because I feel like maybe the Chiefs are a little too OP now. But, once again, it was a very good team, so it's kind of fair for us to have that. But I guess let's change to Tampa. I don't know how old that tight end's getting, but they drafted a tight end in the first round. He looks all right. He's 23, but couple of wide receivers on top of it. Okay, I mean, I don't know what Kyler Murray's looking like either because he's like an 88 overall. His regression has to be kind of up there as well. Or he's gone. I don't know if he retired, but he sure as hell ain't here anymore. Of course, Gurley, he's an 80. Is that an 88 overall? Almost 89. He's still pretty good, but yeah, he's regressing pretty hard. This team's window may be closed. I'm not 100% sure. The team's still good. And we just dropped down to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers playbook, but I don't know. It might be it with no more Kyler Murray, who I would assume he's still around. He probably just swapped teams. I'm kind of curious. I'm not sure why you would switch quarterbacks, especially when, once again, they seem like they had money. Well, with Tampa, it's still freaking playoffs, 12-5. Got Bobby Valentine here looking like a boss. Gurley's yards per carry is down, but his touchdowns are up. Maybe even an MVP with those kind of touchdowns. No, our guy did, though. And number 6 for Gurley, maybe. Just maybe best running back. No, number 2 again. And, of course, the Panthers have a running back named D'Angelo again, which is kind of cool. But, all right, Cardinals versus the Lions. How many rings is it now? 3 Super Bowl rings? See if they can do another. See if they can do a 4th. And they cannot. Could this actually be the end of Gurley? Once again, we've seen players that are just too good to retire, and they just do anyways because they hit their kind of Madden age limit. But we'll see. Packers versus the Broncos. Winner is the Broncos. Uh-oh. I don't know if Gurley's gone yet, but they grabbed a running back, Jawan Wilbur, 94 juking as a rookie. That's pretty high. That's a pretty good juke move. And he's an X factor. I'm telling you, dude, this team has drafted some great players. That guy's good because he's hidden, but that's about it. He's not very good in general. There has been some insane draft picks. Now, the question is, do they even have Gurley anymore? It'd be kind of awkward for us to even care about their drafts if they don't even have them. But let's see. Or maybe we won't. Oh, they do not. Okay, I don't even know if Gurley's in the league at this point, but we'll take a look. I think he was like an 84 overall. He's good enough for at least one more year, I would have thought, but it's a little sad if he's not. And he's not in free agency. Once again, I don't think he would have retired just yet, but maybe. It'd be really annoying if he did, and we don't even get to see the final stats. He might have snuck in the all-time list, but tell me you're still around, buddy. Just tell me you're around. Thank you. Todd Gurley is in Washington. And he is not the starter, but he's good enough for number 2, which, once again, is good enough to gain some stats. Maybe also he is on another championship-level roster. We'll see. All right, this is what the team looks like. Obviously, pretty good. Whoever this Coleman guy is, 30 years old. Not very fast, but he's, very accurate. Maybe Gurley went to a team that has another chance. I don't know, but oh, that defense sucks. What the hell is this? I don't know, but he at least has another chance to play some football, and that's really all you could ask for if you're him. And ironically enough, they make the playoffs, and their first game is against Todd Gurley's former team. Let's take a look at what Todd's season was like. Obviously, the running back, the backup. That's some really good backup numbers. We normally don't see that kind of yards per carry. 463 with 4.8 yards per carry with 12 touchdowns. I mean, debatably better than one. If he would have played more, the touchdowns would have been like doubled. That's crazy. Gurley with a little bit in the receiving numbers. I mean, adds to his total just in case this is his final season, which it definitely feels like it might be. Let's take a look at how he finished. So 16,000 yards, 4.5 yards per carry. Dropped a little bit over the years. Almost 200 rushing touchdowns, 647 broken tackles, 2,200 yards after contact. Of course, they don't drop your longest run, so he obviously still has that as his longest. Todd Gurley, 4,600 yards. So 20,000 plus total yards. As far as the NFL records go, though, I don't think he would have been that high up there. He just barely missed out even being in that list. But the touchdowns, number 4 all time. So very good stuff there. And, of course, as far as legacy goes, might be one of the best running backs ever because of how many Super Bowls he won. Really not, just because he doesn't have the individual, accolades. 3 Super Bowls compared to Zeke. Wait, was he not on the Cowboys when they won? They won a few in this one, didn't they? I mean, as far as Super Bowls go, he's pretty insane. I mean, I don't know, but still one of the best ever, I suppose. At this point in time, can he win another ring, though? Can he go to 4 Super Bowls and win 4? Well, he went to more than 4, and he loses. His team loses the Cardinals. Please don't do it again. It always happens. I don't know why it does. It just always does. Not this time, though, as, of course, we see the Buccaneers and the Raiders are in the Super Bowl, and the winner is the Raiders. Wow, what a Super Bowl that would have been. All right, Todd's like an 80 overall, I think, and we're going to see if he is still here or if he retires. Retirement, I don't see him on the list here. And he does. 14 seasons in the league, playing for 2 teams. Obviously, that one, kind of didn't really count, but it is what it is, Count doesn't count. He added a little bit to the, I suppose it cleaned up his numbers a bit, if I'm not mistaken, right? Like, it put him at 16,000. He would have been at, 15.9 or 15.8. The touchdowns, he obviously slipped in. Probably maybe even a rank or 2 just on the list for rushing touchdowns. If he would have had a little bit more. But yeah, he would have jumped, 2 extra spots. He breaks the top 5. He wouldn't have been in the top 5 if it wasn't for that last season rushing-wise. So, I mean, impressive nonetheless. And obviously that is going to be it for the career resim of Mr. Todd Gurley. Would have thought maybe a little bit better of numbers here, just the way he was built. It's kind of the way Madden likes the running backs, but they just went straight power bad. They didn't even go elusive. I'm not going to manually upgrade these videos. It would take me twice as long to manually upgrade because I'd have to, manually upgrade, and then all the AIs would be just terrible. I'd have to upgrade every single week, which would just be so slow. I'd have to upgrade every week, auto-upgrade, upgrade every week, auto-upgrade. It'd just be a pain. That's about it. We've had a couple of suggestions. This was actually suggested. I can't remember who the hell it was. I think I seen 2 people suggest this, but I appreciate it a ton. And maybe if you want one of yours to come up in a video, let me know in the comment section below. That's pretty much it. Like I said, stream later today around 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, and yeah, that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, maybe leave a like, subscribe for new. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, second channel, PK Plays, and like I said, with twitch.tv/Jeromepkr for streams, maybe give it a follow so you can just know when I'm live automatically. And that's about it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya!